I've been on a journey to achieve enlightenment. I have searched from Columbus, Ohio, to Prospect, Kentucky, and way beyond. Now my base of operations is in a new location, until I can find what I've been searching for.
So much better. Okay, I'm ready.
Hi, Internet! And welcome to the first You're Gonna Regret It modern children's movie review in a while, with your hosts, Fighting Leaf and Husky the Wolf. Today's movie is going to be on the very edge of what can be considered children's media, since it's meant for the tween scene. It's received a lot of love and a lot of hate, and today we're going to see which one of those it deserves.
Today we get treated to High School Musical.
Was that really necessary?
What?
We start off with some New Year's Eve party, which seems to be silly hat themed this year, and quickly meet our leading lady, Gabriella, played by Vanessa Ann Hudgens, and she is reading during the party. Well, isn't she just a wild child?
And next up, we meet our leading man, high school student, Troy, played by Zac Efron. He and his dad are playing basketball during the party.
The party, remember?
Wow, if it wasn't for the mothers in this movie, we wouldn't even have a story.
Come on, one more.
I guess you wanted to put off starring in this movie as long as we've put off reviewing it.
They finally go to the silly hat party when... Adios, muchacho.
Man, I love doing that.
Okay, where was I? Oh, there she goes, right back to reading again.
The MC then decides to randomly pick two partygoers to sing the next song. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to who. No, we killed him dead.
So he puts the future lovebirds on stage and utters the non-committally prophetic line,
"Hey, you know what? Someday you guys might thank me for this. Or not."
I know for a fact that we're not thanking you. In fact,
I like this movie so far.
as it turns out, the two of them discover they both have great singing voices, by this movie's standards anyway, and start getting to know each other afterwards.
Completely.
You sounded like you've done a lot of singing too.
Yeah, sure. My shower head is very impressive.
That was actually kind of clever. Does anyone else notice smoke rising up from between them? Are we just going to ignore the thing on fire in front of them?
I guess I better go find my mom and wish her a Happy New Year.
Yeah, me too. I mean, not your mom. My mom.
Well, so much for good writing.
Dad.
So the party ends and school starts back up with a vengeance.
Because in 2 weeks, we're going to the championships, with you leading us to infinity and beyond.
I love how only Disney movies can reference other Disney movies without getting sued.
Wow, they've got an inordinate amount of spirit. I have to say, I don't really hate this movie yet, but yeah, scratch that.
You know, she probably spent the holidays where she always does. Well, how's that? Shopping for mirrors.
Someone leave me a comment explaining that joke, because I really don't get it.
Lucky for the plot, Gabriella has just transferred to, well, Wikipedia says it's called East High. And it also turns out that Gabriella is in the same homeroom as Troy. What are the odds?
Hi, Troy.
No! She's actually an important part of the plot, unfortunately.
Aw, man!
Her name is Sharpay, and she's played by Ashley Tisdale. She's our villain, if you hadn't noticed. And enter Miss Darvis, played by Allison Reed, one of the living embodiments of what's wrong with this movie.
Especially our winter musicale.
Yeah, she's not pretentious at all.
Supporting roles and Mr. Danforth, this is a place of learning, not a hockey arena.
I guess they use basketballs as hockey pucks at that school?
Then Troy pulls off the crime of the century by whipping out his cell phone and lands not 1, not 2, but 4 people in detention.
Actually 6 if you include the ones that got away with 15 minutes of it. Nice going there, Troy.
Hey,
I don't
believe it.
I mean,
Either. But how?
Ah, the old finishing each other's sentences routine. Truly, they were meant to be.
Never do that again. So they walk past the sign-up board for the musicale and express why they would never in a million years sign up for
Good gravy fish heads on a stick!
I wouldn't think impossibles even in your vocabulary.
Were you just waiting there for them so you could say that?
Wow, she's like John Hancock, only more pretentious. Just like most of the characters in this movie.
Bah!
Knives starred in all the school's productions.
You're never gonna stop doing that, are you?
Never!
Troy tries to nonchalantly bring up the musicale to his friend Chad, but he immediately shoots it down.
Who cares? The music in those shows isn't hip-hop, okay, or rock, or anything essential to culture.
It's a simple equation. Different equals sucks.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it might be a good laugh. You know?
I'm
Sharpay's
being
kinda cute,
subtle.
too.
So is a
And what do you do when your best friend shoots down your hopes and dreams?
You sing a song about it, of course. Isn't it great how this song is about keeping your head in the game when obviously his head is elsewhere?
What is it, Leaf?
Master, I'm afraid that we're going to need more than one of those fast forwards in this movie.
Leaf, you know these things are not meant to be used lightly. What are you reviewing?
High School Musical.
Oh, holy crap! Use as many as you need.
Thank you, Master.
Hang on a second.
I just wanted to see that. I'm good. Moving on.
That should be 16 over pi.
Sharpay starts to notice Gabriella's high IQ and gets an idea as how to use it against her.
First competition.
She sends Gabriella's records to Scholastic Decathlon leader Taylor, played by Monique Coleman,
Of course not.
who is now obsessed with getting Gabriella to join the team. Meanwhile, we learn that Troy's dad is the school basketball coach, and he soon notices that something is wrong.
Where's Troy and Chad? Where's Troy and Chad?
Oh, chill out, man.
What the heck are those two doing in a tree?
Kissing.
Proximity to the arts is cleansing for the
Seriously,
soul.
does she always talk like that? And why does Chad always have a basketball with him?
This scene is supposed to set up a plot thread between Darbus and Troy's dad, but it really ends up going nowhere. Next.
Right back from. It's time to
Sheesh, these guys look like the team of the living dead.
team is you.
I suppose your Thriller reference was more appropriate than we thought.
Taylor keeps trying to convince Gabriella to join the Scholastics team, but she's more interested in learning about Troy. Taylor pretty much sums him up by doing this.
Isn't Troy Bolton just the hottie super bum?
Stereotypes are funny.
My no-beds are history. Sister!
Yep, this is a high school movie.
Troy wants to talk to his dad about doing something new with his life, but being a parent in a high school movie, he doesn't listen.
No.
The next day, Ms. Darbus announces the auditions for the musicale will be held during their free period.
Chad starts to find Troy's behavior suspicious and tries to follow him to see what's going on. But as it turns out, Chad is an inept tracker, and even when his dad starts the pursuit, it turns out that Troy took escape artistry from Batman.
Late for class.
I'm still subtle.
So Troy, and eventually Gabriella too, both make it to the auditions, and...
It's hard to believe.
Ah! Make it stop! Make it stop!
This string of bad singers goes on for entirely too long before... I'm sorry, were we supposed to laugh at that? So finally, Sharpay and her poorly acted dimwit of a brother, Ryan, finally take their turn. And they are... really goofy.
So of course, they impress Miss Darbus, and Troy and Gabriella both chicken out at the last second. And Miss Darbus won't let them audition. Then this happens.